We always knew it was going to come down to something like this, didn't we? The experiments were going on, accelerators here. Actually, seeing it so forefront. We got a little taste of it before, but I can't remember such a visceral detail. But now that Misaka, the original Misaka, has joined the fray, how's that going to change the events, the experiments? How's Accelerator going to react? Is he even going to notice? What indeed? It's one of those questions where you can think of as many options of what you would actually say and do, but when actually confronted with it, you would have no idea how you'd actually react. But also, as we saw there, he's kind of always active. He doesn't have to consciously create his vector change. But with pure horror and rage, can she actually be of any use here? But the fact we also know that there are, or were, thousands. What's going to be more devastating to her mental state, knowing that one that she was talking to just now has been eradicated, or the knowledge that it's not a single occasion. I don't know why, but imagining hundreds or thousands is somewhat easier to accept than like one, because then I feel like there's less seeing them as individuals if there's just a large quantity, which is a horrifying thing to say, really. We've seen her do things like that in small quantities, but not as a coordinated attack. You have to give the bastard some credit. He's smart of, actually figuring things out. I suppose if that is your first experience with at least death on that scale, would be kind of difficult to comprehend it straight away. The difference in level 5s, it's all down to like how you use your power, what it is in the basis of it. And is this in the remit of the experiment? Just lead off with a railgun attack. I mean, we've seen that he's not entirely absent from what he's doing. But yeah, why would you sign up in the first place, other than just power? He has grand ambitions. In a world like this where magic and abilities, yeah, invincibility might be nice, but at the expense of everyone else. And she's not getting that frog badge back. And having that redirected in an instant. And yet you would be willing to fight the original? I think there's some dissonance there, Accelerator. But yeah, having all of your hard work and what you mentioned, really strong attack, because no one else has really been able to stand up to you, completely dismissed. Which number are you? They noticed the disturbance here and had to step in. So any deviating from the plan now will make the rest of the experiment void. That's a good way of getting through to him. So, yep, just leave now. He's a psychopath, but she worked out who it was, did she? Not what you want to hear, gently spoken behind your ear. Weird might be an understatement, but also I don't believe they have much of a say in the matter. Would this be an easy... Really, that cheap? I mean, is that really a way of easing her burden right now? I mean, after learning about something like this, how do you just return to normal, like going out to the cafe with your friends? A molten antivirus. Nope, there's one eventuality that it could never be. Screw you for even trying to bring it up. Huh. Who had the worst day? And after being made to think that her DNA would be used to help the world, help people in trouble. So now she is bearing the burden of every copy that has been used in the experiment. There probably isn't many who'd be able to talk her out of her current spiral. She managed to guess that, did she? I seem to have slipped your mind. If they do see them as mere lab rats and expendable, just, oh, we're losing a certain amount of money. Yeah, there wouldn't be a reason why they wouldn't get involved in something like this. Well, no, it's slightly different because it's not a guarantee that all 20,000 of those would die from it. It's a bit of a false equivalency. We've seen that a few times. Pretty much in this place you can't get a high-ranking research job unless you are off your rocker. So what, her project has been repurposed. I can see why you wouldn't really want to be part of that one. So she's giving a bit more humanity to the artificial beings here. Wouldn't be able to update that data then. Wouldn't be able to carry on as if they are completely soulless if you spend a bit more time and actually have them respond and grow. I guess the refining of all your experiences and data down to a full experience, so you can live hundreds of lives in one, but I'm not sure all of that is quite a trade-off for what they have to go through. How would you describe the air, what it tastes like? It probably is better than the recycled stuffy air from inside of a bunker. And now this skyscape is seared into the network. From someone who has not experienced the outside and having it said in such kind of alien manner. They have their own personalities, likes, wants, even if they can't be completely expressed. That's a interesting question to ask her. If they are separated from the experiment, will they have a self-preservation instincts? Wouldn't that also be better for the experiment if they are given self-preservation? Wanting to stay alive to collect the most data as possible. Or is that just too dangerous to give them? A thing or two. It was a tough night. They're now sharing all the... Don't worry, she's back now. Are any of them actually going to learn what we have today? You can't shower with her, but... So she is trying to play it off as nothing has happened. Going overboard to not worry her friends. Is that something that... Oh, the code. I remember now. There might be things that she doesn't want to remember. As long as she doesn't turn into repressed memories and come back tenfold later on. Did Satan realise there was something she didn't really want to get into? Quick, change the subject for her. Well, you can rely on them if she needs it. I mean, usually people have very various, mundane problems. How the hell would you begin to think about helping with this? It's good that we see a bit more of how this story unfolds. Only 20 odd. It's good that she's thinking of how to move forward, but as soon as actions start being taken against facilities and experiments, I don't think they are going to sit idly by. I guess the good, silver lining thing about it would be that day that was spent with the original is shared with all of the other sisters. I have so severely conflicted emotions about this ending. There are so many people and what is close to being a person who are complicit in these experiments. At what point do you think, hang on a second, this is more than just a artificial creation? And also, if they're willing to do this for what is essentially as close to being a human as you can probably create in a lab, how long before they move on to better research targets? And to think this experiment was brought to a halt through something almost unconnected. At least if I remember correctly. And we've already seen versions of the sisters with their own personalities. Well, one apparently has a better metabolism than others. Some like sweets. And some might actually enjoy a children's cartoon accessory. But since they have their own minds and wants like that, how does that tie in with the network? Do they have their own person? as well as all the shared experience. But we have Misaka close to a breakdown, and overcoming it, at least putting on the outward expression of overcoming it. I hope we don't have to see them struggle too much. But there's more episodes, so I guess there's just a matter of time. If you enjoyed this one, let me know down below. Leaving a like and a comment helps me out. Subscribing to the channel lets me know that you want to see more, and it makes sure you don't miss out. But for now, get some rest, make sure the mess is cleaned up. I'll see you in the next one. My patrons have looked inside themselves and realised funding experimental clone treatment isn't the worst. And if you wish to be ethically dubious as well, consider joining on to my Patreon. There you can be alongside Sal, Electricant, Arthea, Noku, Raywin, Shiwan, Mecha, Matt, Stinsfire, Jennifer Rojas, Girly1234W, Kite, Saltytron, Cardboard, Dark Shadow 7899, Jim A's, Maurizio Lascano, and everyone else, in helping to create this questionable experiment that is my channel.